People just don't know what they can do to prevent this. So some of the most common places in our home where we find germs are...
That's right. So we're in one of them, the kitchen.
In fact, I heard there are more germs in the kitchen than the bathroom.
Isn't that shocking? That's why I try to stay out of the kitchen. But anyway, the handles, anything that we're touching where we're preparing foods, these are not just specific for the influenza strain, but bacteria and viruses in general need to be cleaned on a regular basis. The sponge is a petri dish for bacteria and viruses, so those really should either be changed regularly, soaked in bleach, or you can put them in the microwave to really kill all the germs.
When you talk about cleaners, doctor, what kind are you talking? Is it enough if it says disinfecting or antibacterial?
Yep, anything with bleach is great. There are also some eco-friendly versions that can be very effective in killing germs, and you really just want to go through your kitchen, any surface that you're in contact with, refrigerator handles, the faucet, and the strainer within the faucet should be kind of soaked with bleach, and then let the water run through. Protect yourself in the kitchen.
The key thing is bleach. And I have to say,
right.
I peeked in your bag this morning because it was open, and I saw
I had this.
So she practices what she preaches.
Absolutely.
Purell.
I have this with me at all times, and it's really, really important.
And should we have this at our kids' school? And what other things should we expect at our kids' school?
Well, unlike probably similar to a lot of moms, I got an email from my children's school yesterday about the swine flu, right, precautions. And actually what they're recommending is frequent hand washing. Now, you and I know as moms of young children, what child can wash their hands for 60 seconds, and then they touch the faucet, which is then contaminated with their dirty hands beforehand. So I send this with my children, but the schools are recommending that if your child is sick, just like any other day, keep them home.
But here's the thing, people are keeping their children home just because their kids have a runny nose. How do you know when to send them and when to keep them?
You know, no different today than a week ago. You know, if your child is coughing, sneezing, fever, you know, certainly with a rash, you don't want to send that child to school.
Because as we know, all these places in school are germ magnets.
And this is one of the worst. The water fountains, lockers, desks, computers, if they're at school, so that's why these are really helpful.
What about work?
Well, this is probably the worst, okay? You have high volume traffic exposure. The phone is the worst. They should be wiped down probably twice a day with alcohol or Clorox. In the hospital, the nurses' stations do that every day. Mouses, keypads, fax machines, anything that your hands are on. If you take an elevator to get up to work, you should probably hit that button with your elbow. And lastly, don't share food that's opened. Individually wrapped stuff is good, but the other stuff is just a breeding ground for germs.
Okay, so it sounds like stuff we would do normally anyway, but more so now.
Absolutely,
than ever before.
It's a good reminder.
Thank you, Dr. Ashton.
You bet.